Going live.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our Creating a Bright Future. We're so excited because this month on our Creating a Bright Future Zoom, we have the amazing Mimi Carbone from South Australia to join us on our beautiful talk. And Creating a Bright Future is all about hearing from the best in the business, and Mimi definitely is. So we're excited to hear about her story and everything that you've got to share tonight.
We certainly are. And I wanted to say an extra congratulations to everyone for last month with your sponsoring results. What an amazing, amazing finish we had. But let's concentrate on where do you want your Nutrimetics career to go in the next few months and the next 1, 2, 3 years? And what is your vision? And someone who I just think has a wonderful work ethic, has a passion for skincare, for makeup, for helping other women, for bookings, and for getting out there and meeting new people that she doesn't even know, going out of her comfort zone, as everyone who is a sales director, an executive sales director, a presidential director, a group leader, a senior group leader, an ESL and ESM. We need to go out of our little comfort circle and fulfill the potential that we have as human beings. And a dynamite human being who I love dearly, and I just want to look as good as Mimi all of the time. And I would love to welcome the beautiful Mimi. Give her a big welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Louise and Adam. And I feel touched and honoured to be a guest speaker tonight, because you both, and Louise, we got back a long way. I have hanged on to every word in every conference that you have spoken, and you have inspired me so much. And for you asking me, I feel very honoured. And the same with so many people around Australia, because I think in our industry, I was blown away when I first came to Nutrimetics, because everyone is so sharing, and what I hanged on everything is from you ladies that have set the pace for us to follow. They've been there, like even the Maureen Dines and Peggy Lombardi and Diana Perse and Annette French, and a lot of other people along the way. I wouldn't be where I am today. So I really love the opportunity to be sharing, because whatever I have learned came from you guys. And then, how can I say, the generosity of you expressing how you run your business, which I found out a little bit unusual, coming from a different world in my working life and even in my business life. So yes, I was very excited when I actually didn't really know too much about Nutrimetics when I joined, but I did go to my sister-in-law had a party, so I attended this party. And I remember when she invited me, I said, Laurie, I've got drawers and drawers full of cosmetics. I don't know if I need anything else. But she told me he was coming along to this party, and I thought, it's a nice social night. Let's go along. Anyway, when I went to this party, and I did hear about Nutrimetics in the past, because I think I had bought a honey and almond scrub or something like that. But anyway, this lady that was presenting on the night, she would have been in her mid-50s. She was a social worker, she was a grandmother, and she just said to us, just come back from a trip to India. Wow, my ears just popped up, because, I thought, wow, does this lady ever sleeps? She works, she does this, and she still achieved the trip overseas. Being the person that I always loved to travel, and even in my early days when I came to Australia, because I was nearly 12 years old when I came to Australia, and people used to ask me, do you love Australia? I love Australia, but in my mind, I thought it would be nice to one day being able to travel, maybe 3 months here, 3 months here, overseas, but being part, of course, loved Australia. Anyway, when this lady was talking about, I was very curious, so I asked a few questions on that night. And she obviously picked up that I had an interest, even before I even touched the product. I didn't join on that night, though, but I was very lucky to have met someone that was very focused on sponsoring. So she rang me about 3 times to come along to a training session. So finally I went along. I thought, well, I was very curious. I'm always curious how people achieved such a status or whatever. So I went along, and I actually, on that night, I decided to join. Now, it was probably, how can I say, the busiest time of my life, because my husband and I were running a coffee shop. We're building the house that we're in now. My kids were 11 and 8, and they were in every sport you could think about it. So Rocky was working 6 days a week from 6 to 6. And so there wasn't that much time. So when he heard that I actually joined Nutrimet, joined this company, he didn't even know what it was. He said, "Are you for real? How can you, when are you going to have the time to do that?" We were building that house. It was the busiest time ever. And we're building this house subcontract. So if you've been through a renovation and that, you know what it takes to do all that. But anyway, I thought, oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'll do it. I'll see where it takes me. So anyway, what I actually did, went to the training, and I just fell in love with the training. I loved being involved. You know what? You come to a stage in your life sometimes that you feel like you need to be with other people, not just your normal friends, because we're talking about the recipes, we're talking about children, and there was much more beside work. I was working with my husband, so I didn't have a big group of other people outside that. So when I came to Nutrimetics and went along, I loved the training. But what really got me is I was very inspired by being able to travel overseas every single year. So that's how I started. And I thought, well, I have got, it has been proven that this business works. It's not something that I'm attempting from the first time. These people are doing it. They're achieving the trips. They're achieving the cars. Even if it takes me 10 years, it's okay, because along the way, I'm going to earn some income anyway for my time. And if I get a trip, that's a bonus. So I remember mentally thinking that even if it took me 10 years, I would stick around. Well, it didn't take me 10 years, thank God for that. It just took me a year. And within a year, I became a manager, an ESM, an ESL, and then a manager. Now, my biggest goal was to achieve the trip. Now, I was very crystal clear what I wanted. Didn't know how long it was going to take me. So every time I went to training, my aim was to see how the people that've gone to the trips, what was their path? What was their journey? What were their personal sales? What were the personal sponsoring? And that's what I was looking at. Anyway, I did achieve the trip, and it was just like something out of this world. I'll never forget my first trip. And I remember being asked to go to another class. We used to call it, I think Diana will remember this, it used to be called the car class. And I remember saying to someone, I remember saying to my senior person that she was asking me to go to that car class. Well, basically it was to develop your business. I said, I'm not interested in the car. I've got a car. I'm happy with my car. And she said to me, you know what? If you get the car, you get the trip. It's all together, because sometimes you don't pick up things as you go. Anyway, I remember coming home that night because we just moved into a house, but we hadn't done the landscaping. And the interest rates at that time was very high, so we didn't want to borrow any more money. But I remember coming home and saying to Rocky, if we were to sell our car, how much do you think would we get? And it was a decent car back then. So he said, I think about 10,000. Now, we had got a quote to do our landscaping, your brick paving and all that, and it was around 9,000. Oh, wow, that's my answer to get my landscaping. So you wouldn't believe it. Within 3 months, I actually achieved my car. So what I'm actually saying to people that whether you're a group leader, consultant, and whatever your goal might be, it has to be crystal clear. Because if it's crystal clear, you attract the people that will actually take you there. You know what I mean? Along the way, because I made the decision to actually go for my car, and obviously I grew my business, so financially was obviously increasing my income. I achieved the car within 3 months. Now I did my landscaping, sold my car and got a company car. That was my first goal, because before then I didn't really know what even goals. I mean, you know, I was used to get up in the morning, get the boys ready for school, go to work, come home, do what the things mothers do. Now, in achieving the car, then it came with, okay, now I've got this car, I need to work towards doubling my business, because if the brochure it's not 100%, or maybe I'm not well 1 month, if I double my business, say instead of 10,000 I do 20,000, then I'm going to cruise. And I don't want to have any, I don't want to, you know, hang on the last day of the month to be able to maintain my business. So I actually worked within 3 months, and Diana would remember that. I remember getting my car, it was in December. And you know, for you girls that have been in the business for a while, December is not the easiest month because it's a short month. So I remember achieving my car in December. In February that year, I did 16,000, and I mean, you've gone back a long way. So it was 16,000, was pretty good. And then a month later, I was doing 20,000. So what am I saying to you is watch what you're thinking, because it might come true. So my goal came true, and within 4 months after I got my car, I doubled my business. Now, was that easy for me? No. And I'm going to go back a bit and explain to you how I felt when I joined. I by nature, and I'm not the person that I was 30 years ago, by the way. I was a bit of I was an introvert. With my friends, I felt that I was pretty confident. But when I had to step out and do something different, now all my working life, I started working in a pharmacy. And then from pharmacy, I actually went to work for David Jones in the cosmetics. But then people were coming to me. I had the counter, so that, you know, people were coming. I had my what they call a secure blanket. Then when it came to Nutrimetic, I had to ask for the facial. I had to ask for the party. And, you know, in the beginning, you might not have the support, and I didn't. You know, even my husband was pretty. Not that he was negative, but he didn't understand why would you want to go and do something else, you know. And my children, you know, if they see me going out at night to a party, they thought I was going to party. Didn't realize that I was going to work. And you know, I had challenge to overcome, because it was my whole life, my whole family changed, my whole structure changed. So I remember sitting down with my boys, because I think you got to, you know, it has to be a family affairs where, especially when you're going to be out, they've got to understand what you're doing. So I remember sitting with my boys, and I said, I showed them on a chart. I said, you know, when Mum achieves this level, I didn't know how long it's going to be, and actually was SB. I said, I will take you anywhere in the world you want to go. Okay. So they said, oh, really? Even Disneyland? I said, yeah, Disneyland, anywhere you want to go. You actually create the itinerary and we'll go, right? And, you know, after that, they never questions why is Mummy out. If I was home, they said, Mum, how come you're here? Are we going to go to that trip? Anyway, so, and what happened was that I did achieve the goal that I told them. But along the way, of course, you got to understand that any business, and I suppose I actually very blessed that we had been in business and we had the up and down days, and you just go through. It's like any other job. You get your good days, you get your bad days. When I started, not everyone was supporting me, even like my own family. And some of you know Maria Condina, she's my sister. You know, when I started Nutrimetics and I asked her to have a party, she said, I'm not having a party. You know, I'm not going to invite people to come along. Now, you know what? That's fine. It took me a couple of days to recover from that, your own family not supporting you. But then I thought, you know what? If I'm going to embark on this journey with you or without you, whether it's a family, whether it's a friend, I'm going to be doing this. I am the captain of my ship. And I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to keep on keeping on. I don't know how long you'll take me. I didn't. You know, it took 3 years, but my sister actually joined me. When she saw me achieving the trips, achieving the cars, you know, all that sort of things that she probably didn't think it was possible, because I remember her saying to me, that I've been brainwashed. And I said to Maria, do you know what? Brainwashed, not brainwashed. Last month, I went out twice a week and I ended up earning $2,000 in my pocket. And that's a long time ago. That's 30 years ago. Anyway, people will follow you if you keep on going, regardless what happens on the way. Just keep on going, and you find that people will end up following you. Now, when we used to, in the beginning, like I said to you, I was a little bit. I had to do a lot of self-talk because, you know, I had a very crystal clear what I wanted to achieve. You know, it was my trip, and of course, you have to build your business. And Rocky used to send me, we used to have at a coffee shop, and that was funny because he used to send me to the central market to actually purchase the fruit and that. And now I'm not very tall, for some of you know me, and you can imagine this stack of apples there, and there's a lady behind there, and I'm trying to buy some apples. And the next thing to that, when I'll give her the money, I say, I'm in the beauty industry, I would love to offer you a facial. And you should see the face on this lady. She think, what was that? Now, you know what? It's really interesting because by doing that, I actually built my facials. I need to do 12 facials in 1 week. So I actually end up, 12 facials in a month. So I end up doing, no matter where I was, because I was a busy person with everything else going in my life, I had to basically, conversational marketing, as we call it today, to be able to build those appointments in my diary because I did not have other time beside that. So in doing that, whatever I was going, it was always offering facial. And then from the facial, of course, I used to book the party. So, you know, it wasn't an easy thing for me to do. And I remember that one day when I took the boys to soccer training, and I thought, I'm just going to drop them off and I'm going to go and do some canvassing. And I got dressed up. All my makeup was perfect. Everything was perfect. And I went to the shopping center and trying to book some facials. And I went blank. I looked at these people and I could not ask one person. Now I went home and I was really annoyed with myself. Now think, this business does work. What we need to work is on ourselves. So when I went back home and I thought, that is so silly. I wasted today where I could have been doing something. I'm going back there again next week and I'm gonna really give it a go. So the following Saturday, because that's the only time I had, I went back to this shop, to another shopping center, and you know, within half an hour, I reckon, because it was inside me, I was saying, look, at the end of the day, if they say no, it's a no anyway. So what have I got to lose? Are they going to care whether I achieve my trip or not? They're not going to care. I will never see them again. So I might as well ask. So there was my self-talk in doing that. So you wouldn't believe it, because on that, it was only the week after, and I booked 5 parties. Not even facials. I went for the parties. I gave them a $50 voucher or whatever it was, $30 in those days. And I booked it in my diary. You know, that's how I started my journey. And booking those parties had become, and I was so determined when I was in front of people to book the next appointment, because I did not have time in the week to do a lot of that, lead generation. Of course, life has changed now. The business has changed now. But what I'm saying to you is, was it worth it? Definitely was. It was worth me getting out of my comfort zone. For one thing, what I value today is the person that I have become, not just in Nutrimetics, but in everything else around me. But you know what my weakness were, but by the action become my strength. And most of you probably know that, you know, in sponsoring was my challenge, because I could see that I've never been in direct selling. I've never been in multi-level. I didn't even know what that meant. So for me, sales came easier, that I could sell, and I can, you know, obviously helping people with their skincare, their makeup, and helping them. When it comes to sponsoring, I had a bit of a challenge, and I don't know if you have or not, but if you do, what I actually remember going to a conference, and this is why, one thing I can tell you that I was, and I was a good student. You know, if there was no one seminar or 1 year, we're now at Zoom calls, but there was not one thing that I would not tend to. And the books, I've never read motivation books until I joined Nutrimetics, but they've become my habitually read something every single day, because I do believe we need that. It's like, it's like going to the gym. When you first do something and you use the muscles, the first time, the next day it aches and it hurts. But then when you do it again and again, it doesn't. So I had to learn that. I had to learn that no, it's okay to get a no, because the average is if you got lots of no's, you're going to get some yeses. So that was my self-talk. And in actually doing that, obviously grew the business. So I've now lost my train of thought. But anyway, what I was getting at, that it was worth my effort in getting off my comfort zone. Because over the years, what I was saying to you, my weakness had become my strength in the sponsoring, was that I thought when I joined people in the beginning, I thought I would join them to help grow my business. But then I realized, and I went to a seminar, I think it was Diana that was doing the seminar, and I was very consistent in my sales, 3,000-4,000, because, I thought I'm a very busy person. If I'm going to be going out there and selling this product, I want to get paid at the highest commission. So I used to plan my diary to make sure that I'm doing my $4,000 a month, because that was the highest commission. And so in doing that, my consistency in the sales was there. But that wasn't going to get me to seminar. That wasn't going to get me to a car. That wasn't going to develop my business. So I suddenly realized, and I went to a seminar, I knew I needed to get my head around this sponsoring. So I remember going to a conference, I think it was Diana, and I remember she pulled me out and she said, Mimi, you're doing $3,000-4,000 a month. You are meeting people. Why aren't you sponsoring? I said, well, Diana, I asked them, then I want to join. And they said, how many people have you met? Oh, she said to me, are you enjoying what you're doing? I said, yeah, it's great. I do my $4,000. I'm earning my $1,800 every month. I was building the house, so it came handy to my European hot plate, my special things that I like, my European things. Anyway, she said, do you think you're the only one that can do that? I said, no, geez, anyone else can do, anyone. I didn't think I was anything in particular, but and she goes, well, you haven't given people the opportunity, because there's people that today might not have the money to send their kids to a camp or to ballet school, and you haven't you haven't told them about the opportunity. Well, she made me feel really guilty and not guilty. And then it really dawned to me, really, this business, someone gave me the opportunity. She rang me 3 times. If she hadn't rang me 3 times, I wouldn't enjoy what I have so far. So it is up to me to give people the opportunity, and it's up to them what they want to do with it. And you wouldn't believe it. This was Saturday. I went to do a party on Monday night. There was only 3 people. Out of 3 people, 2 people joined. So you know what? It is a mindset. Everything is a mind, and once I did that, it's like the floodwaters opened up. And guess what my priority became when I met people? It was my sponsoring. So the sponsoring gave me the opportunity to grow my business, to give me the flexibility, to give me the lifestyle, to feel, how can I say, as far as the lifestyle, it's what financially I gained, because it snowballed from there. And I just enjoyed the business more too, because seeing people developing with me, it was just the best thing ever. And I don't think if it wasn't for sponsoring and development, I don't know if I would have been in this business length of time. But to see people that I've given them the opportunity achieving that, for me, was the biggest gift you could ever get. So what has it done for me over that time? It's that look, when I thought today, Louise, I've got to thank you, because in doing this, in really going through my head, what did I feel like? How did I develop my business? Just realized how grateful I am to be part of this, where I'm surrounded by all these people they're all really eager to leave a legacy in this world and even building their own, empire. So yeah, I'm very blessed because through doing that and being overseas and had that beautiful trip, and Rocky wasn't very, very, very excited about me doing that. But when we went overseas and on the way back from the plane, he said to me, Mimi, he said, I think you should go part-time in the shop and do more Nutrimetic. So I don't know if it was the bikini competition or whatever, but he obviously enjoyed the trip. So I did that, and I went part-time in my business and started to grow. Now, because of me obviously developing my business, we sold the coffee shop, and then he decided he's going to go into the jewelry business, right? Now, I was the breadwinner. We had a mortgage and we had boys out in private school. So I actually, was able to maintain and grow that business to be able to cover all that. So, and then of course he developed his own business, which he helped him by being part of Nutrimetic, because again, he used to come to my seminars. So he has helped him to develop his business as well. So together I can say that Nutrimetic has really set us up, and we have enjoyed our life because, we do, and I'm not saying this to tell you and brag you what I have, but I think the opportunity is there for everyone. And, through the journey, we have been able to actually we've got 5 residential properties investment. We've got 5 commercial properties. We have helped our boys in New York to get a investment property. And we have helped my other son here, Adam, to have a property here, which he runs as an Airbnb. We have set a trust for our grandchildren for education. So it has really paid its deeds. We really, the challenge that I had to actually getting out of my comfort zone and do something different, I wouldn't change it for the world, because, if you're just working in a place 9 to 5, you're going to get the same thing, the same wages. For you to be able to excel and look at bigger things, I think you need to work here in a place where there's no glass ceiling. It's up to you how much effort you put in. So was I strategic? Was my business very well planned? Yes, it's always been. Do I make a plan back then and now? I'll take you through what I do today compared, because the business has changed. The other thing, we've got to be able to be flexible with whatever has happening, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in the business, or whether it's in the whole world. Yeah, sure. My life has changed a lot when COVID hit, because we went from being 2 people in my household to 6 people. So we were in lockdown, but even when we were in lockdown, we had my 2 grandchildren from New York. They were living with us, plus my son and his wife. So of course the whole thing got thrown out of whack. But you know what? I think you just plan. And and this is what I appreciate even more so. If I didn't have Nutrimetic when COVID hit, and I was working for someone else, I had a job, I would have had to leave my job to look after my grandchildren, because my daughter-in-law, she's got a very, very powerful, job and very high up in her company. So I wasn't going they're the future. They're building their wealth. I'm okay comfortably with financially. So I would have to give up my job to look after my grandchildren. But the best thing is that we were able to work it all together. And even through COVID, and even having the six people in the household with a lot of cooking and washing, whatever, we have a cleaner, and I have a cook, because Rocky's very good at cooking, thank God. But beside that, we were busy, a very busy household, but I still managed to educate to work with my video online and achieve the conference in Hayman Island, which of course it was great. We couldn't go, but you know what? That's $6,000 come handy, because we put out a visual line at the back. So the money comes. I said to Rocky, watch those 6,000, they're mine when I go shopping in New York. So he said, not a problem, just lending them in from you now. So, you know, you've got to be adaptable because, you know, if you're running a household and you've got lots of things happening, you just don't drop your business. And you know what I thought to myself? I actually had to overcome a few weaknesses and strengths and, you know, some things along the way. So I'm not about to let it go and just worry about next year. I can manage this and I can manage the family, and that's what we did. So to be flexible in your business, adaptable to whatever is happening with, you know, we all have dramas happening in our family. It's very, very important because when you're running a business, you've got to be committed. You've got to, if you don't spend the time during the day, well, I knew the children were going to bed at 7 o'clock. That's when my day started, and I would work to 12 o'clock. So it's the great thing is that it's flexible. So has it given us a lot of amazing opportunity? Yes. Has it helped my children? Yes. Did I, you know, the promise I made my children? Yes. I took them to New York. They did the itinerary. And obviously, and you know what, my son fell in love when he was in New York. He was 15 when we went to New York. And he never said that to me, but in his mind, he loved the place. And he said, one day, I want to work here. Now, he was 15. When he was 30, you know, actually start working with an American company when he was 23, 30 years old, he decided that he wants to be transferred to New York. And that's why he lives in New York. So I think it's helped us, my husband and myself, but it has helped to set the, you know, the path for my children as well. So to actually, how can I say, you know, with us traveling and seeing the world, and I remember even with my son, someone asked him, what made you want to travel overseas and see the world and do what you do? And he said, seeing my parents traveling, coming back so excited. And things like that. I think we are the role model for our children and for our team. So, and you know, has the business changed today? Yes, the business has changed today. And, I don't know what that noise is, but anyway, I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yep. Okay. So, you know, I've never, ever, I don't think over the time, have lost sight of where I'm going with Nutrimetics. Because of Rocky building his business and because of my sponsoring, I have been able to take time off work. And sometimes we would be away for 2 months at a time with his business. Mine was holiday, his was work. But, you know, the beauty about today, which I'm so excited that if I'm going to be going away, I can work my business with a computer. I can do all that today. So obviously the business has changed. And like I said to you, I remember when I said to you, when COVID hit and we had to change the way we're doing things, I remember doing the first video and I said to Rocky, oh, sorry. I don't know what's happened. Sorry about this. I don't know what's happened to my phone. So I remember saying to Rocky, I just need 15 minutes. I've got to do this video. Anyway, 4 hours later, I was still doing this video. There only was 15 minutes. So, so if you're going through that, it's okay, you know. So that's how long it took me in my first video. I think it was about 4 hours. Are you finished yet? I said, shut the door, leave me alone, I haven't finished. So take 1, take 2, take 3. Okay, so we did that. So by doing that, the next month, it only used to take me, say, 10 minutes. Now what I do, I just jump on and whatever will be, will be. So whether I do it live or I record it, it's just working the business a little bit different. But at the same time, nothing really changed because whether we do it online and whether we do it face-to-face, and I think now it's great because we can do both. You know, I think if it hadn't been for COVID, I would have sort of, no, I don't need social media. And I think that's been a really good learning curve for me. So now it's how we're going to work with doing both. And the one thing I have always done is making a plan for the month, looking at my brochure, looking what's in the diary. And if I think the appointment that I've got in my diary are not what it should be, I like to do that in the beginning of the month, because I've never ever want to get to the 30th or the 31st of the month or 2 days before and thinking, oh my God, what's happening to my business? And you know, in all these years, whether I was an ESM, whether I was a GL, or we didn't have GL, ESL, or an ST, never ever did I not maintain my business. So that just doesn't happen. It has to be planned. So whether you want to grow your business by 10%, 20%, everybody's got a different goal. But one thing I must say to you, and I feel like I'm looking you all in the eyes, that it's very, very important to embark on whatever incentive the company has. And don't worry how you're going to do it. Because, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know who you're going to meet. Don't be scared of the challenge. I'll give you an example because I love little stories and I think this might help you. When years ago, and some of you remember, and some of you have achieved the Peugeot convertible. So the company had an incentive where you could earn a red convertible, which was Peugeot convertible, was valued at $40,000. And that was well and above anything else you got, your company car, your income, whatever. The way my business was positioned at that time in my ESM ship, I could have done, it was very daunting, it was a big goal. But you know what I thought? If I embark on this goal, what's going to happen is, even if I don't quite get there, it's going to grow my business. Because the way my business was at that time, it was that I could count all my people in my group for the, I think was 13 months. I think that the journey was 18 months. You had to do 6 months, 6 months, and 6 months. Now I thought, if nothing else, I'm going to grow my business. So I embarked on that journey. And then at the last, I think 3 or 4 months, the company put another incentive where if you did, I think, develop a GL or ESL, I can't remember exactly, you could just cut that journey by 3 months. Now, you know what? I remember sitting at that seminar, I think it was in Sydney, and I thought, oh my God, I just jumped for joy because I knew that was my key to that Peugeot. Now, you think about it. If I hadn't embarked on that journey that I thought was too much of a challenge, too daunting, it's not even worth going for it. How do you think I would feel? So regardless what the opportunity would, regardless what the challenge is, I'm just saying to you, set your set high, set your goal. The company doesn't put things out there that we can't achieve. So that was a real learning curve. I thought, thank God for that. Because when you're on a clear crystal goal, you will find a way and you will meet the people. It's like the universe comes together, right? You meet the people because every day you're thinking about that. You're looking at that. You're looking at your goals and you're thinking what you've got to do. So that was a really, really learning experience for me. So I would say to you, make sure you do have a goal. Make sure you plan your diary monthly and you follow up. Now, last month, have we gone for time? Okay. It was a great opportunity. And whenever the company does something, jump on board because you might not get that opportunity in the following month. Now, at Xero joining, we've never seen that. We've seen $99. We've seen obviously we had the $20, but we've never ever had Xero. So when I heard that, I thought, oh my God, I've got to do everything in my power to be able to do as much as I can to actually add, build the business. Because it's all about the numbers. You've got more people to work with, right? And everybody, think about it when you meet someone. She knows at least 100 people behind her. So for you to connect with those people, you've got to do it through a channel and you've got to do it through someone else. And when I heard that, I thought, well, you know what? The best way for me to sponsor people, of course, I can go back on that inactive because obviously I've been in the business. But the best thing is have fresh people come into your business because they excite you as well. So I actually did, in the month of May, I did 3 fundraising, which helped the biggest morning tea we had down here in Adelaide. And, I did one that I actually organised it. And we raised about $700. But the other thing that I did, I actually, we did a makeup masterclass where we charged $20 for the masterclass, and everyone, all that $20 all went to the charity. So, you know, I felt like I want to give back. I don't do any, you know, my age, maybe I should do a little bit of voluntary work. Sometimes time doesn't permit. But things like that, I love to spend time to be able to help the charity. And so we did, and that worked really well. We did another fundraising. We were asked to do another one, and that was really great because they brought the people in, and they raised about $2,500 for the biggest morning tea. But the good thing with that is that, as well as we sold about $1,000 on the day, and I think we sponsored about 20 people. And the great thing about that now, it's a club, and they want us back to do like a makeup masterclass or a skincare masterclass, which they're going to promote. So every event you do, something else comes out of it. So I think if you connect with other people, we did another makeup at a cafe, and she's a beautiful lady. She joined the business, and we're working with her because I think through COVID, a lot of people are suffering as well. So if you can actually lock arms with another business, that really has helped us a lot as well. And so I did 4 events, plus I do the cinemas. We do the Wallace Cinema, sponsor all SA. There's 4 cinemas. The 3 of my girls do, plus myself, plus another manager in Adelaide. And I am connected with the Palace Nova, which is another movie. So I do that. We do the cinemas twice a month, plus any other events. So we actually do a lot of, you know, obviously lead generation. That is my most key lead generation. Now, I sponsor personally 73 people. I actually help the other girls as well. So in the SM-ship, we sponsored 96 people. And, you know, already from there, obviously the key thing from there is to follow up. Now, the way I look when I sponsor someone, that she's still a customer until she proves otherwise, okay? Now, how many products we got in here? Probably 500 products or more, right? Now, I feel my job is to actually educate those people that come in as consultant on all our products. So the connecting with people, follow up with people that you sponsor is crucial. If they don't place an order within the first month, you know, the first 6 weeks, it's going to be a lot harder after that, because we're very blessed to be in a business where the company is so generous in being able to put incentive out there. So it's up to us to be able to follow through, because you got to understand when that person joins, especially with the $0, she really knows she's got a membership. She doesn't know the urgency of her activating that account in the first 6 months. So it's up to us, you know, what we want to do, what we want to get out of this. I don't want those people, whatever we got in our SD ship, I think over 200 something, or even my ESM ship close to 100, right? That in 6 months time, they're going to be gone. I don't want to do that, because you know what? I'd rather put the work, have those people sponsor other people. And in, like today, Salva had someone coming here today. She bought a friend. That friend joined, we activated the account, and everything is happening. So if you need, and if you know, I actually invite people to come to my house. So if you've got a place where you've got a room, you can set up a little bit, rather than you're running here, running there, unless they're booking like a workshop, they've got 5, 6 people, but they're going to be 2 or 3 people. If you've got the environment that you can have them at home, it saves you time, it saves you petrol. And you know what? I've had people driving half an hour to come to my house for a facial, and I thought that would never happen. How good is that, where we had to drive around and, you know, miles sometimes? I remember doing a facial and, you know, I wasn't that great at, you know, traveling around Adelaide, because I was living in Adelaide suburbs. So going out when you had no phone, you didn't have mobile phone. I sound really old now, don't I? No mobile phone, no things like that. And I remember knocking on people's doors just to find an address. It wasn't easy. But, I remember, and this is what I'm saying to you, everything that you come across, if I didn't come across that, I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't inspire you that it's okay. Those things do happen. But look what's happened. Look at when I think of my, my real estate that I have accomplished to achieve, it just gives me so much thrill. Not only that, because you know what, I did, and a lot of us in Australia, we've got a great lifestyle. We don't need Nutrimetics just to put food on the table. You need to have the extra benefits you want. And like I said to you, helping your children, helping your grandchildren, and even helping your charity is a great thing. But, I remember going miles to do this facial because I was so focused. And this lady didn't buy anything and whatever. I think, I don't know, I sold something, but it was miles away. On the same day, though, I had a party, right? And it wasn't that far away. And that party was $750. That was a lot of money. It would be like $1,500 today. So don't worry about analyze what happens in one appointment. Analyze overall. Now, the other thing that I was really good at, I think I was good at anyway, that I want to do the best for my hostess or the whatever. I used to say to her after I did for one thing, I used to really be hostess coaching. And you know what, if you're going to have a 3 or 4 people, that still needs to be hostess coaching as well. Because for you to know who you're going to present to, it makes a lot easier for you how to tailor-made the presentation. But at the same time, you want to do the best for that hostess because that's going to give you the best results, and it's going to be easier for you to book another appointment. Okay, so hostess coaching then and now is very, very imperative. But like I said to you, you might do one appointment, might not happen, but then you do the other one and look what happens. Or you might not get a lot of sales, but you sponsor someone, and that lady, I have people in my business that I've joined when I first joined. Now every single month they place an order. Do you know overall, and this is not my stat, it's the company that are those stats. On an average, everyone you sponsor places $1,200 a year in sales in your business, right? That's a lot over the 30 years, isn't it? So the more you sponsor, the more you're going to have people placing orders.
Hey, Frank. I'm just getting ready.
Sorry? I don't know what's happening. So I think follow up, it pays, it's a lot of effort, but it's what you need to do. You need to keep those people connected to your business. And he actually demonstrated when we went in front of people and I was just doing video, how I connect with so many other home buyers and how my business grew, but nearly 20%. So that's a huge when you're not in front of people and bringing a lot of new people. The other thing that you got to remember is that think of, when we actually connect with people, we think we do it once. Oh, well, I did tell her that. I told her that. I sent that video. I did that. Think about a company. When you're sitting down watching TV, think about the same commercial. How many times does it keep on coming on to actually get you to notice that product, right? Now, those companies are pretty smart and they do their homework and they spend a lot of money in advertising. If they think they just had to do it once, what would they do us all on and on and on and pay all this money? So think about it. You might, out of 20 people or 30 people, let's say you annoy 1 or 2 because they think, oh, she keeps on sending videos. But what about the other 28 that you're not following up? What about those people that are missing out on knowing about the deodorants, the shampoos, the cleaning products? So to me, it's like every time I do a delivery, it doesn't matter how small or big, they get a sample. They get information about a new product, especially if it's in the brochure, right? The hyaluronic, the aqua boost, I don't know how many, everyone, I can tell that's a huge one that it comes to mind. the amount of hyaluronic aqua boost that I sell. And not one. People say to me, when they're on speech, give me 2. I love that product. Shampoos, you know, we had the care pack, right? And I really worked with that promotion. And this is when you have to really, truly focus and spend some time when the company puts us promotion at $50 and it's value $156. And I look for people that haven't been exposed to that product, because it's not about making that $50. It's about introducing them. And, you know, I was at the cinemas only a week ago, and the lady owns all the Wallace cinemas. She could, you know, she could buy the best of the best and whatever she needs to spend. She comes up to me, she goes, Mimi, oh my God, thank you for that care pack. I love that shampoo. I love that deodorant. Now she's a lawyer. She's going to be there buying those products, not just the skincare, not just the makeup, because sometimes with skincare, they might go somewhere or they see something on TV, but she's going to be loyal to the cleaning product. She's going to be loyal to my deodorant because she can't get that anywhere else. So for me, follow up, and following up is the golden rule. And not when you run out of leads. You got to do it continuous, month after month after month. You know, I heard someone say once at a seminar that someone said to her, I haven't got time for that, you know, lead generation or that. Well, she said to her, you know what? In the next 3 months, you're going to have a lot of time, because if you don't lead generation now, you're not going to have the follow-up business. I always worked my business, and I still try and do it now, even though times have changed. On the 3rd week of the month, for my, whether it's my SM ship, my SD ship, to be in place already, you know, over always my personal sales. If I want to do $4,000 by the 3rd week, so the extra that I do the following week, what I used to do when I used to do like 12, I used to do about 10 parties a week. Even now, my appointments, the next 2, the last week, I put it into the 2nd week. So I get kickstart, and it gets exciting when you look at your figures and you already got $1,000 going into your 2nd month. That's how you want to work this business. You don't want to be working this business hoping and wishing and whatever, because at the end of the day, we can analyze the business. We know how many home buyers are going to place an order. We know what percentage of people sales you're going to get through. You're the captain of your ship. So if you don't like whatever's going on in your business, you're the only one that can change that. And I think you've got to give yourself time. Whatever you change, it will take a month or 2 to see the results, but be patient. Be patient, because not everything happens overnight. But put the time into the business, because that's the other thing is, we can think a lot about the business, and sure, social media's got, you put the post and you do this, that's an extra. But what comes through at the end of the day or the end of the week is, you got to look at your result and say, was my time well spent in that area? And whether you're developing a goal and you're talking to someone, was that worth it? You know, I remember many years ago, even when you're developing people, I think where the Alberts that once said, cover the name and look at the figures, because sometimes we're drawn towards having people that we love the personality and spend time with them, but they might not do what what they're meant to do. So you probably, after a while, you've got to let go and move forward and work with someone else that wants what you have or wants to build the business or whatever. So yeah, look, to me, it's think about the business. If you give the respect to this business, but you will probably a lot of times do that when you go to work, because you know you need to put that effort, because if not, that job might not be there. Or if I own my business and I didn't go and open up my retail shop every day, well, you know what, that business won't survive. So if you respect this business and have the discipline to work this business like you paid $200,000, then it will give you, it'll give you the dividends, because it's all about the time and effort you put in that's going to give you the dividends. How much do you want? What do you want? Where do you want to go? How quickly do you want it? You know, and if you haven't set those goals, if you haven't set your strategy, maybe it's a good time now. If some of you are coming to conference, I think you're going to be blown away. And I can't tell you how you feel when you come out of that conference. It's just out of this world. And I am I feel very privileged and blessed and honored to be part of this company and have been surrounded by these beautiful people. And, even the little story, the Temple magazine, which now is called Nutri Living. I used to hang out, and soon as the poster used to arrive, I used to go and open that magazine. And I can tell you the story from number one when I joined. I remember Maureen and Max Dines, they came through as an ESP that month. And Maureen was sharing her story, how she went and did her first party. She was there for 4 hours, didn't sell anything. So you know what? Are you driven by pleasure or fear? When I say that, it means that when I say fear, it means that for me, I actually in my head think the beginning of the month, what do I want to feel like at the end of the month? So if I don't want to feel that, how can I say, that fear, then I'm not going to achieve what I'm going to achieve. I make sure that I double, triple my appointments and my time to make sure that I deliver, that I am where I am, right? And that's what doubled my business, because I never want to feel like if there's some reason the brochure's not what it meant to be, or I'm not well or whatever, I'm still going to maintain my business. So I think you got to plan what drives you. What is that you want? What is you want to, sometimes I think, what would my life been if I was working 9 to 5? What would my life, my children, I had so much time with my kids in the school holidays. My mother had dementia and she ended up in a nursing home. She was my biggest fan. When I joined Nutrimetics, everyone was against it. I used to live with her. I lived with her when we were building this house, and she used to stay up and ask me, how'd you go? And I said, in the beginning, it was about the sales. And I said, Mum, it's not about the sales. I got a sponsor. And then she used to say, how many people did you sponsor? I'm so sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional because I feel blessed. And she would have been the best mom. She would have been the best director if she, in her time. And yeah, I suppose what drives me is that I'm pretty stubborn. And I always said to myself, this company, it's amazing. I remember the Bill Roche and Imelda, and how much they worked hard to build the business. And I thought, well, they come from very humble beginning. I've never felt that we didn't have money, because my mother never talked about not being able to afford things. But she used to say, I don't choose to buy that for you. But one thing I remember, she used to say, when she paid her mortgage, always want to pay a little bit extra, because she wanted to pay that loan of the house as soon as she could, so she could own the house. So whatever drives you, I don't know. I got inspired by everyone around me. Like I said, the likes of Louise and Diana and Peggy and Marie Harvey, with the combi van and 7 children. I think most of the people that grew this business, we have very similar. But we were blessed, we're all blessed, and we're still blessed. And there's still such an opportunity out there that I hope you hang on to that and grab it and embrace it and move forward and just watch yourself. Are you looking for the excuse, or are you looking for the solution? Because if you're looking for the excuse, I can tell you, you will get it. You will be there. It will follow you. But if you're looking for the solution, there's a lot of people you can talk to, right? And I always said to myself, in my early days, once I knew I've got to know this business, if I'm ever going to live this business, it's going to be when I'm on a high, because I don't want someone else to dictate my destiny. Just because she chooses not to follow me, or just because someone postpones my party, or because somebody cancels my party, doesn't really matter. How many people there's there? There's 1 million people inside Australia. When my sister canceled my party and said, I'm not going to invite people to come to the party, Sure, it takes you back a bit. But you know what? Would she followed me if I had given up? No. But meanwhile, she's been in my business for 30 years. And she enjoyed the journey as well. So I think one day, I think that probably, I don't know, but thank you again. I hope that what I shared with you, it will, reminiscent with you and you want to take it. If not, whatever might be, I just feel that I'm in the best place. I'm in the best, I couldn't have it any better. And thank you again, Adam and Louise. And I really love you both. And you have been my inspiration. And like I said, even now, there's not a time that I don't listen to your videos or take on board what you guys do. And you must be so excited having your son next to you that's done so well, and both, and Rick as well.
Yes.
I don't know where we'll be without you guys. I really do. You keep on inspiring us even after all these years. And, we know a lot, but, be the best. I think being the best you can be, because it's not so much what you say, it's how you deliver. And once I knew a little bit about what to do, I think, how's Diana connecting with those people? How's Louise connecting with those people? So it's how we deliver that message that we need to learn continuously, I think. So I hope it's helped you.
Definitely. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Mimi. We've been writing pages and pages and pages of
So
notes.
many pages.
So inspiring.
Oh, Mimi, I love you. It's like an admiration club here, and I love Diana, and she inspired us to start this whole Creating a Bright Future monthly training. And you have just, I believe, inspired every single person on tonight and everyone that watches the recording. That was so powerful, so genuine, so authentic, so from the heart. And your commitment, well, I'll let Adam summarize, because he loves to do that little job, or big job, I should say. And I just can't wait to be with so many of you next week.
I know, I can't wait to give you a big hug.
Oh, I so agree. And I so appreciate you giving of yourself and your energy and your time and being with us tonight to do it for everyone. But I do agree that when we teach, it remotivates us as well as we live that journey that we're sharing, and hoping that just one or two or three people will take advantage of this amazing career, job, business opportunity like we did. And I do agree that when you have come up from very ordinary, I guess, beginnings, then this is an extraordinary lifestyle. But it's extraordinary for everyone. But it takes the passion and the commitment that came through tonight. So Adam, let's summarize.
Thank you. Well, first of all, my gosh, give respect to the business as if you were employed. Discipline like you paid $200,000 for your business. I absolutely love that, Mimi. That's a huge takeaway from me as well. And as Mimi mentioned, she joined in the busiest time in her life. So if you're thinking I'm super busy, then it might just be the right time to double your business. Went along to a training and loved it. So what a great reminder of the power of trainings and inviting our people to trainings, whether they be in person or online. Inspired by those around her that were achieving their goals, traveling overseas every year. And this is a proven method that this business works. Love that as well. So became a manager within a year, and her biggest goal was crystal clear. So Mimi knew what she wanted and went for it. Looked at what were the people doing that were where Mimi wanted to be. And I think that's a beautiful thing to do. And for anyone coming at conference, that's such a great checklist to make, is what are they doing? What are these people doing that are where I want to be in my business? Double your business. Was it easy? No, it's definitely not easy to double your business. But if you're committed and if you're crystal clear, it's possible. Because as Mimi said, so many have done it before her. And then Mimi was able to go out and do it and follow in their footsteps as well. in the beginning, you might not have the support. And I think that's really something beautiful to mention, because we don't always have the support. I know from many of my friends, I didn't have the support when I got started as well. But through time, they were more supportive. When they saw that company car or they saw the trips overseas, they're like, "Are you going overseas again?" I have 3 overseas trips planned for the next 6 months that I'm super excited about. And I know that every time I get back from one, my friends will be like, "You're going overseas again? Gosh, business must be going really well. Maybe I should quit my full-time job." So that's really, really exciting. To become a sales director, and what you sort of said to your family about going anywhere they want to in the world. And I was speaking to one of my new senior group leaders during the week and talking about that family goal. Having that family goal is super important to have. And she was able to earn $3,000 last month by going out and doing some workshops and elevate to group leader and senior group leader, just because she made the decision that that's what she wanted to do.
And that's allowed her to afford to come to conference with her husband.
Yes.
Wow.
They are so excited because they have twins that are 2 and a 6-year-old daughter. So when do you ever get to go away with your husband by yourself?
Definitely. She's so excited. You said to yourself, "I'm going to do it regardless." And I think it's that focus and that commitment that really, helps us achieve those amazing goals. Be the captain of your own ship and keep on keeping on. Or is someone else the captain? And do we need to take charge and kind of step into that captain's seat? People will follow you regardless of the challenges you face if you keep on keeping on. Busy people, conversational marketing, loved that. What a great idea for everyone that's busy or is out and about doing things. What a great way to save time and to meet new people as well. So absolutely loves that. And offering the facial, because the facial leads to the workshop. The facial leads to meeting new people to sponsor. And as we all know, it's really just about meeting people, whether that's in person or online. The more people that we meet, the faster that we can build our business and achieve our goals and everything that we imagine. This business works. What we need to do is work on ourselves. That was a huge takeaway for me, because we have the processes, we have those methods, but there's always things that we can continue to do to grow and to learn and to study and to train and to be a great student.
And that's why we like it, because
it's not boring.
It's not boring. We get bored easily sometimes. So Nutrimetics is not boring for us.
Definitely.
They'll throw some other curveball at you that makes you step up.
Yeah, something else to go for, a new promotion, which is super exciting. Be a good student. Learn that it's okay to get a no. And I loved what you said. If you don't ask, it's already a no. So you're basically starting with a no. So you may as well ask someone, and that might move.
Have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely love that, Mimi. I'm going to definitely hold that in my little bank to be able to share with people. Everything is a mindset. And what sponsoring did, as you mentioned, was give you not only the opportunity to build your business, but to become more financially stable, to meet more people, because everyone knows 100 people. And if we don't sponsor them, we don't have that opportunity to be able to meet who they know. Seeing others develop is your biggest gift. And I mean, it's just such a rewarding and special part of this business, is to be able to see other people achieve their goals and have those experiences. It's about the lifestyle and being surrounded by people that want to leave a legacy and build their empires. And as we know, and many of the greats have taught us, that the people that we surround ourselves influence our success, our lifestyle, our happiness, so many of those things that are important in life. And the trips, exactly what my dad said. So when Dad went with Mum to one of the first international seminars to Singapore, he said the same thing. Well, maybe you should go part-time and make this a full-time business, because we've got to achieve this trip every year. So, achieve the trips for the partners is a fabulous thing to do. And
even if they don't want to go.
Even if they don't want to go.
They'll come at the last minute.
Definitely. 5 investment properties and 5 commercial properties, Mimi. I am so inspired by that. Definitely. I saw a mortgage broker today about my first property, which is super exciting that I put a deposit down for. And it was so exciting to go in there and have a look at the income that I've earned from Nutrimetics over the past 12 months and show that I can get a loan for the apartment that I want, with that sort of income. So it's amazing to know that I can do that with my Nutrimetics business. Because with 9 to 5, you have the same wages, and with your own business, there's no glass ceiling. Absolutely love that, Mimi. It's flexible. It doesn't matter what happens in your personal life, in your business, in the whole world. You can be adaptable and work your business around that. But as Mimi said, you have to be committed. Plan your diary and plan your month and be ready for every promotion the company has offered. Regardless of the challenge, go for it. And we had a board meeting today for our team, and I mentioned that now is the best time before conference to get your diary planned for June. Have a look tonight, tomorrow, map out what you want for your June, what availabilities you have to do bookings, to do facials, social media, chat to people, because there is always an exciting promotion released at conference. And imagine if you were already planned before we even get there, if you're going to conference, or for those that aren't able to come along, there'll be a promotion that you'll be able to go for as well. I'm sure there'll be something that you can move forward with. So if we're ready now, if we're prepared now, we'll be ready for that exciting promotion, whatever it may be. The universe comes together. Everything you do, something will come from it. And sponsors, I love this as well. They're customers until they prove otherwise. So keep connected, educate them, run skincare masterclasses, run makeup masterclasses, or chat to your upline managers and directors about helping you do that. I know I have Jody in the room here. Jody's a new group leader in our team, and Jody and I caught up at the middle of last month, really. And Jody said, I'd love to earn $1,800 from my Nutrimetics business in the next 2 weeks. So we booked 4 masterclasses, and Jody sold her $4,000 and earned her $1,800. So, it's totally possible when you're committed and when you have a strong enough goal or a reason. But are you looking for an excuse or for the solution? We don't want someone else to dictate our destiny. So I encourage everyone to go forward to create that bright future for ourselves. And Mimi, thank you for your inspiration, for your authenticity, for being here tonight and sharing your story. It was truly inspirational. And I know that it would have touched so many people tonight, and for those that watch the recording. So thank you.
It certainly was, Mimi. Thank you. And we have Marina just on audio, which is great. And Marina is our guest presenter for July. All being well, a couple of things happening in her life. So if she isn't able to do it, then we have a backup plan. But Marina, can we ask you to unmute, and could you just say a little bit about what you love about Nutrimetics, and perhaps just one thing you learned from Mimi tonight? If she's there watching us, if she is, it's okay. She was there. I know. She was talking to us.
She could be sponsoring someone.
Yes, she could be.
She could be sponsoring.
She made a comment, so she was there.
But Marina is just wonderful, isn't she, Mimi?
Yeah, she's so fun. She's very, very focused as well and inspiration, and she's built amazing business, and she's a lot of fun to be with as well. So
she is. She keeps us
laughing.
laughing. Yes. So I would love you to put the first Thursday night of July in your diary, everyone. And I look forward to seeing so many of you next week. Thank you again, Mimi. Thank you to everyone on tonight. Really, really appreciate having you join us. And thank you to everyone that watches the recording. Love to all of you. Bye from us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.